To those of you guys who might have missed the first one, this is actually the second video of me testing the new bow. The first one is already live on my channel, so if you've already seen it, cool. If you want to watch that before this one, that's fine. You can watch it after too, it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and get started. I mentioned in the last video there was a Slayer task I was trying to get to do a particular boss, and that Slayer task was actually for the Grotesque Guardians. I didn't get that, however, I got Hellhounds, so I figure might as well test it at Cerberus while I'm working on getting that Grotesque Guardians task. Now, I'm doing this because some people in the comments asked to check it at Cerberus, but truthfully, I really don't see it being worthwhile here, unless for some reason you can't use an arc light, because now that Cerberus is classified as a demon, the arc light here is absolutely disgusting. But we're going to try this anyway. You know, it actually feels like this bow is better than I expected to be here. It's filling the void pretty well. It looks like I get like 3 or 4 kills every 5 minutes based on the duration of my potions, which I think is decent. Yeah, I guess, if you count respawn times and everything. So it's doing a good job of filling the void left behind from the blowpipe, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. I'm going to give it another trip or two just to, you know, get a more definitive opinion. End of the first trip, totally did not almost just die. Definitely not. It feels good. 6 or 7 kills in about 10 minutes. So it's not amazing. The only thing I would say is that it's definitely better to just use the arc light. There's really no reason to use this outside of extremely niche situations over the arc light. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll give it another trip just to see how I feel. Okay. The shield left half while testing this thing out. Interesting. Well, I would say I've done enough kills to get a good feel for how the bow is here. And, you know, honestly, it's meh. I mean, my initial reaction is about how I feel about it. There's better items to use here. It's not that it's bad, it's just also not that it's particularly good either. So you can use it here, but it's not really worth the time. Another place I was asked to test the bow is actually Lizardman Shaman. However, I can show you right here that that's not worth doing because the Shazine armor was already buffed to give an increased accuracy to your range, to make the blowpipe best in slot, or to keep the blowpipe best in slot there even after its nerf. On top of that, I wouldn't be able to wear the crystal armor with the bow, which is a lot of what makes it so strong. So I really just feel like it's not worth testing when I can already definitively say the blowpipe is better there. There we go. That is the exact task I wanted. 235. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter the amount, but we got gargoyles. A lot of people wanted me to test out using the bow to see if you could actually skip the healing orbs. So let's go try that out. I've actually never done this boss with a scythe and max before. So this is kind of exciting. Alright, so this is the thing people want to see if I can do. Skip picking up the energy spheres and just kill Dawn in time. And I won't be able to because I forgot a freaking rock hammer. Alright, round 2. Let's see if we can actually have a legitimate try this time. It's doing good damage. It feels like I should be able to get it. It's actually closer than I thought it would be here. I mean, we got it, but it was a little close. I'll do a few kills and just see how it feels. So this is the 5th kill I've done so far, and so far I've had 2 successes and 2 failures on skipping the orbs. This is something I was really expecting the bow to have no problem doing, but all the successes have also been extremely close, so I would not call this reliable at all, and yeah, there's another missed skip as well. I'm going to go ahead and just try with a blowpipe and see if that one ends up being better still. Alright, narrowly failed the first skip with the blowpipe, but to be honest, it feels like it's doing more damage than the bow with amethyst darts. I mean, look, this feels like pretty consistently good, so I don't know, man. Yeah, it looks like we're going to make this one pretty easily. I would definitely say that the blowpipe is still better here. I don't have a DPS calculator in front of me, but I'm using a blowpipe with amethyst darts, and it just feels like it's doing way more damage. I got the skip way more consistently. Giving off a few seconds for a new PB as well. Yeah, the blowpipe is just better here still. Another comment I got a few times in addition to testing it at Grotesque Guardians was to actually try testing it at Vork, so I'm just curious. With the South Amulet on, the max hit of the bow is a 52, which is pretty good. I guess I'll go try that, but I really don't see it being better than the Dragon Hunter Lance, which is just way cheaper, or the Dragon Hunter Crossbow, which I'm pretty sure is also way cheaper. And both of those items are arguably easier to get on an Iron Man account as well. So, as you can see, I brought a bunch of stuff to reduce Vork's defense too, just because I want to give this the best chance I possibly can to see if it's worth it here. But the Dragon Hunter crossbow basically got a buff with this update. It has higher max hits now for using the Dragonfire ward here, so I can't see this beating that. Alright, something I've already discovered that is very important. You can't Wooks Walk with this because the range on the bow is actually too long. So you would have to use a blowpipe for that. Yeah, so this is with 2 60+ BGS hits, and it's well over a 2-minute kill. I feel like we can just definitively say, just don't use this here. Alright, couple places left I want to try this out, and you can probably guess. One of them is going to be Criara. So let's go ahead and get some KC, jump in there, and just see if it's any good. Right as I was almost done with my KC, I realized I still had a salve amulet on. So I gotta go do that again. Alright, finally 40 KC, let's give this a shot. I am probably going to just get absolutely melted by pretty much everything in this room, because I have like no defense, and this is with me wearing a Ring of Suffering and the face guard as well. But this could be a decent alternative for Iron Men who don't want to hunt chins, so we can try it for that reason, or just people who want to go in and only do a few kills at a time or something. I don't know, we'll try it. So this is actually hitting more than I expected it to, and it feels decent, but the thing is, you're comparing it to chinning the minions and hitting the boss with those chins, which just does insane damage and also has just a way higher accuracy rate. Even with these hits like that 44, there's still a lot of zeros, and as you can tell, I am taking a ton of damage. Not wearing a shield does not really make this boss any better either. I mean, the damage you deal is decent, but the damage you take is just absolutely insane, and this is a very, very long kill as well. So, you know, I would venture to say this is probably not going to be breaking any metas anytime soon. Maybe if you're doing like a Criara mass or something, this would be a decent thing to bring, but yeah, it still just hits way too many zeros for it to be worth it over chins, I feel like. Yeah, I'm going to have to just tick this one in the probably not worth it column. The first kill could have just been, you know, some very good RNG, but a lot of these hits are just not landing. This boss has crazy high defense, which is why things like Diamond Bolts were so good here, and why chins are used so often. So maybe if you have the Crystal Helm on, that'll help as well, but you can see how much damage I'm taking even with a decent chunk of extra defense on. I can't really imagine switching anything out and taking even more damage. Alright, this is the last place I want to be testing the bow, and that is General Grodor. I have high hopes for it here because it's actually supposed to be quite strong at this boss, and the previous meta was blowpiping it, so I think this will work out really well, and if it does, then it could be some encouragement for people who want to do the range solo method to start using this bow instead. Alright, first kill is exactly how I expected it to be. I've done quite a decent bit of Dolo Bandos for the series that I'm running on my other account, so I'm kind of used to how this boss feels doing it with 2 accounts, and I can definitely tell the kill speed is a lot better. I didn't even bring a spec weapon because I was curious to see if the accuracy of the bow could cut through stuff even without a spec, and it definitely feels like it can. I just realized I wasn't even potted for that kill, and it felt that good. So yeah, this is probably going to be even better when I'm actually potted up. Holy. Yeah, this is with no spec hit on the boss. Every shot, okay, of course, as soon as I say every shot, almost every shot is landing. That is incredible. It's just melted. Now, of course, I'm also not set up for an optimal trip. I don't have Bones to Peaches or, you know, Blowpipe to heal or Guthans to heal. So, yeah, you know, I'm not trying to stay here for like a million kills. I just want to see how this thing is here. And so far, I'm impressed. Alright, so yeah, this is definitely meeting the expectation. The accuracy, look at that. The accuracy is just unreal. It's freaking amazing, dude. So I feel like I can say with relative confidence that this bow, at least if nothing else, is going to guaranteed be the meta for people who are going to be doing Dolo Bandos or people who solo with the range method. Because if you slap it on accurate, it'll have 5-tick attack speed just like a crossbow does, so you can still do the same method, I would assume, without too much of a problem. I feel like it's pretty safe to say that I've done a fair amount of testing with the bow at this point, and honestly, it's underwhelming. It's not meant to be a super broken, overpowered item, but underwhelming in the sense that it's not actually replacing the blowpipe in as many, you know, situations as it's supposed to. The blowpipe is still incredibly powerful. Grotesque Guardians showed us that. And to the people who are asking why I don't test it at chambers, it's for that exact reason. A lot of the stuff there is very low defense, and the blowpipe will still shred most of the stuff in there, especially with the new amethyst darts that are better than rune darts and are probably going to end up being cheaper. I think the main thing and the main takeaway from this is the bow is good, but it's too expensive to be justified as like kind of the blowpipe replacement. The blowpipe is still really strong in a lot of places and really, really cheap, especially by comparison to this. Even items like the Dragon Hunter crossbow are just a fraction of the price of this bow and output a heck of a lot more DPS on things like Vork and the Olmhead. So I really wouldn't advise you to blow your bank on this, but hey, if you want to, go for it, and it could be a cool item to grind. Probably worth it for Iron Men to go for it. Definitely not worth hardcores to take the risk. But if you guys enjoy these videos, please make sure you leave a like. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down.